Have another beer, buddy.
Chatty chat chat chat. I think that they probably said that being shorter is advantageous.
Well, they need to teach me then. There you go. So we had to poke a little fun at him. Call you Ginger Swag.
Yeah. If you weren't bowlers, what would you have liked to have done instead? Anything else. Literally anything else.
That's a great answer.
The horse is so dead that it's on some kid's school project on a landfill already.
And there you have
that one before.
No. We'll talk about that one more.
Terrible idea.
What up?
What
up?
It is.
Coming to you live from a snowy Topeka, Kansas.
Yeah. It's not
Cold one out there.
Yeah, it's cold. The snow wasn't too bad though. They thought we
No.
were going to get like 9 inches, and then we only got 2. So
Oh, I won't complain. I've got a 4-hour drive first thing in the morning. So
just like our wives.
that's right. Touche. Oh, goodness. How much you guys get in the greater Kansas City / Lawrence area? Yeah, we got about, in Topeka, we only got like 2 to 4, depending on where you're at. So it wasn't too much.
Yeah,
I'm not complaining about it.
We only got like 2 up here. Angel still made me shovel the driveway, though.
Of course you did.
Dumbest thing I've ever heard of, but whatever.
Good evening, guys. Double dipping with your show and Bull TV. Yep, I'm doing the same thing. I'm talking to you fine folks while I've got Bull TV on to the left of me. So, So I take it you're going to Springfield. I am not actually. Well, I'm going to drive through Springfield. I'm going to Branson. But if things work out, I might go see my buddy Zach when I stop in Springfield. So we'll see. If he makes the show, I was going to look at going to the show on Sunday, but
I was thinking about that too. I completely forgot that it was Springfield this week, even though like Domo said he was going home instead of bowling the tournament and whatever else, and it just didn't register. It's like, oh, it's in Springfield. And Casey Murphy made it, Andy Klein made it, Kevin Williams, of course, Brad,
Boog.
Boog, Zach, all kinds of friends bowling. So if they do happen to make the show, then I might try to talk the wife into a trip.
Cancel those plans because they are sold out.
Oh, okay.
Unless you go watch match play. That'd be the only thing. I got on there to look today. I was going to scoop up general admission tickets.
No, the show's already
sold out.
Huh, okay.
Yep, I tried. I was going to take Raylan to do it on the way home from Branson. I was like, you know what? I think she'd really dig this. Because, if you've never sat on a live show, it is really cool to do an experience. She'd be the one that sits over in the corner, just looks at herself in the camera the whole time. Because she's always that look at me little girl. You know how she gets when she sits on here. So,
I haven't been to a live PBA show. I've been to when they had the women's, the PWBA here in Topeka. We were at that show, but that's not the full like set and all the other stuff, the enclosed whole shebang. So,
actually, Nico, yes, I've already that's already been thought of. If he does make the show, I was going to ask him if we can be VIP to come in. So since we're right around the corner,
Lost 40 Brewing Rooster Illusion. One of my favorite things to do is watch Tropic Thunder movie reactions on YouTube. There's several movies I love watching people's reactions to, and Tropic Thunder is one of those. And I am a Rooster Illusion.
There's so many good one-liners in that movie.
Great. Yeah.
They cannot be repeated on here, but we'll put that for another time. If you've never seen Tropic Thunder, give it a watch.
Whew.
What you drinking on?
Johnny got me a nice bottle of Whistle Pig 10-year. So normally we just do the piggyback or whatever, but 10 years some special stuff. So
is that the stuff that I sampled?
Yeah, I think this one's really complex. There's a lot of stuff going on in this one, and then if I get tired of that, then I've got some scotch
down into my belly. I was actually, before we went on air, I was actually upstairs getting prepped for my computer and stuff, and I started doing like all the Anchorman like before he went on the show because Raylan got snowed out of gymnastics tonight, and I was like,
okay,
Unique New York. New unique ow now brown cow. And Raylan's like, Dad, what are you doing? Sorry. Those have not seen also Anchorman. You've got to see Anchorman. It's classic.
Yeah.
It's stupid. Stupidest damn movie you'll ever see. But it's still great. I love Lamp. Brick killed a guy.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness. Got a little bit of bowling to talk about now that we've got we're back in the swing of things of the tour. We can go back and talk a little US Open, talk a little Pete Weber Missouri Classic that is going on right now, round 2 of qualifying, just getting underway in Springfield, Missouri. I'm getting ready to go to Nationals here in a matter of, what's today's date, the 12th? I will actually be bowling day 2 at Nationals in a month from today. So we did some prep last weekend with our group, all of our group, but a couple people. So we can talk a little bit about Nationals prep for me. I know you still got away, so we can preview that down the road. I also go to Springfield and bowl in the end of March. So a bunch of tournaments coming up for me. So we'll dive into that, but I guess we can get started. And how filtered in are we? We're getting people filtering in here?
Yeah, I think so. Kind of.
Okay. Okie dokie. They can go back and watch too. Haas, what are you drinking? I am drinking on just regular Jack. I'm being a basic white B. Yeah. So didn't feel like anything special.
Yeah,
we can talk. By the way, before we say anything else, I do want to shout out before I forget to Santu. Awesome to see that guy win. You guys want like some of the greatest hair on tour. But nobody wanted to win that tournament.
Yeah, and that we got to see him last year. I bowled the we actually went down to watch the regional that they had in McPherson, and he bowled that regional, so he was walking around and because that was right after the tournament in Wichita or something, or there was a PBA tournament in Wichita that same weekend or something like that. I can't remember now, but he was at the.
I think it was the week they were traveling into Wichita from the week before, and so everybody stopped in to do the McPherson. I think is what it was.
So.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, the guy did his pre-show interview with what's her name, wearing socks. So that was kind of humorous. I don't know if you saw that or not, but Spengler snapped a picture of him off to the side, and he's sitting there talking to Kimberly Pressler, about Santu. What do you have to do to win today? Blah blah blah. He's obviously sitting for a few matches, and he's literally standing there in his socks. Said, "What a stud." It's always cool to see new guys win on tour, though. That was a good show. I didn't think Chris Vi. You could see he was trying to outbowl bad ball reaction. He didn't look comfortable at all for one. Truthfully, once I saw Timmy Foy get through that first match, I thought he was going to win. And I think that if he wouldn't have missed that spare, I truthfully think he would have won the title. But
I didn't. I didn't get to see that whole show. I caught about half of the U.S. Open show because we were. I can't remember. I think we were out filming, or there was something we were out doing, and we didn't get home in time to see the entire show. But Chris Vi has had a couple really rough games on TV here lately. Now he's been on TV a couple times here lately, but he's had some rough outings here. We can probably go back. Well, because last show we did, they were on like day 3 of qualifying at the U.S. Open, and we were talking about that crazy pattern that they put down, and all kinds of people talked back and forth about how weird that pattern was and why we needed to do something like that. And Nick Hoagland, the guy that designed it, was on Bull TV or whatever, saying, "Don't worry about what the pattern looks like. I expect scores to be in the 220s. Don't worry about it, whatever else." And he ended up being right. It didn't end up being that crazy of a pattern, but it was kind of the way that we were talking about, where he wanted to keep urethane out of it, so that's the reason for the speed bumps, and then he wanted to keep everybody like inside of 7. And there was a couple times that Chris Vi let it leak outside of that, and the ball just kind of wiggled and disappeared. And so it was very, very interesting pattern. I'm not sure why it had to look like that to accomplish what it did. What do you think? That's
a great question. Scores were relatively high on it, though. I mean, they were putting some numbers up on it.
He expected it to be higher scoring, and it was higher scoring than any of the rest of the patterns. Hi, what are you talking about?
Oh yeah, he was spot on it. And I'm wondering if the speed bumps definitely took the urethane out of play. But I mean, it goes to parlaying him back into the US Open and talking about Chris Vi is Chris Vi kind of is bold now quietly here. 3 really bad games on television where he just never really looked comfortable. And I think going back to the US Open, I actually had to watch that show on my way home from Hayes. I think once he threw that very first one out the window on the US Open show, you could just look and see that he was done. Just done.
Because first match, Frankie won. He beat Simo 240 to 2-0. Next match, Vi won 230 to 220. And then, I don't know where the 150 came from. That match wasn't ever close. CJ shot 240 at him. And then the next match, Andrew wasn't as uncomfortable, but you could tell he just wasn't feeling it. And EJ shot 230, basically 240 again. And I didn't see any bad ball reaction. I saw plenty of bad shots, and people got what they deserved on those bad shots, but I didn't see any bad or wonky ball reaction. It was just a very defined, you got to keep the ball here, you got to play here, and if you do that, you're fine. If you make bad shots, you're done. So I think it ended up being a really interesting pattern.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And I think with Vi, I think that once he threw that one out the window, he just got super tight, and he started to press. And because you could see it just in his body language and just his approach from back of the foul line to foul line. And I think it's kind of parlayed into last week. I really do. He just never looked comfortable. And the comment of the day was when Timmy Foy was bowling in, and I don't know if you heard it, he's like, this guy's really good. You can't do this. And he found a way to beat him with terrible.
I did hear about that because it's just like everybody thought it was just refreshingly. But I mean, we do that in league too. It's like, if you're bowling Russ Wilson and you miss a spare, it's like, well, okay, well, I guess I'll get him next game.
Yeah, that's. I mean, also back to the U.S. Open. Shout out to EJ winning another green jacket. That's pretty remarkable. I mean, the way he had an up and down week at the U.S. Open. I mean, the guy was in like, what was it, 200th place or something like that at one point in time, something crazy, and then just kind of battled back, and I mean, it's called good hard fashion grinding is what that is.
Yeah, that's why you never, especially in a format with that many games, all you have to do is find a way into the cut for that, because then you've got 24 games of match play to figure it out. So if you're close and you can sneak into the cut, it doesn't matter if you're 24th. You got 20 freaking games to make up some ground there.
Plus, they give out bonus pins too. So if you win, you get 30 sticks.
Yeah,
right? Don't they do the 30 bonus at the US Open? Yeah.
So you can make up a bunch. If you're shooting big games and winning games, then you can make up a lot of ground in a hurry. So, Tiffany.
Hey, I'm just. What's up, man? I'm just glad we're back to the best format on the PBA Tour this weekend. Apparently that was controversial, but no, just kidding. But we'll get to see best of 7 again this week in match play. And I'm sorry, but it's just that is what the PBA is for. They're meant to bring you entertainment, and that's the best entertainment they're going to give you. So
yeah, it's one of those things that the cream rises to the top, and so if you have a long enough format, the better player is generally going to win, and that's why going back to PBA tournaments 30, 40 years ago, they always had longer formats. You didn't see a whole lot of this 12 games of qualifying, and then we bowled a couple games of match play or whatever, one more qualifiers round, and then we were on TV. They bowled dozens of games pretty well every week.
Oh, they were bowling at least minimum 40, 45 games a week. So, I mean, they were bowling a lot.
The more you bowl, the more games you have, the more it eliminates some of the fluky stuff. Or, with only 12 games, if you don't find that perfect matchup right away, you're done. You're just, if somebody else finds the magic ball or figures out what they're doing the first couple games, and it takes you an extra couple games, you're probably not going to catch up. So it just, in a longer format, all that stuff, comes out in the wash. So it gives you a little bit of grace of trying to get your feet under you, figure things out, and then take off. It's more of a marathon and less of a sprint. So,
and that's another thing too that I know I mentioned it a couple of weeks ago, but reiterate that those best of 7 matchups also create drama. Yes, but at the same time, anybody can get there. I mean, all it takes is to get lucky, and you can find your way with a couple favorable matchups, and boom, you're on the show. So, and we've seen some guys make it out of that best of 7 formats that have made the shows, and you're going, wow, that guy made it this week. Maybe not quite this season, but just in years past. I mean, we've seen a lot of guys go down 0-3 and come back and win here in the season so far, and it's pretty remarkable.
That's one of those things too. We talked in Discord. It's like, well, if it's a best of 5 series and somebody goes up 3, somebody wins 3-0, how many games were affected by the best of 7? Where there's that extra game, and you might think, oh, how many guys got screwed by whatever else? It's like if you're up 3-0 or 3-1 and you get swept, you get reverse swept. That's your fault. That's not the fault of the format or whatever else. It's just, I mean, sure, it gives your opponent time to figure things out and put something together, but if you're up 3-0, you need to put the foot on the throat. It doesn't matter if they get hot or not. It makes you continue to bowl. So the other thing that longer formats like that do is maybe somebody's better on the fresh on that pattern and somebody else is better when they start breaking down a little bit. A longer format requires you to be better throughout on everything. It requires you to hit the fresh. It requires you to hit the transition. It requires you to hit the burn. So it's more of a test of everything than just like a little best of 3 or best of 5 match or a couple games of qualifying or whatever else. It just, you got to be a more complete bowler the entire week.
Yeah, I agree 100%. So it's just a lot of fun to watch because there's even in those best of 7s, there's a lot of strategy that goes into them too. Like, hey, if I'm bowling a guy, two righties going together, are we going to play? Are we going to throw urethane here to start? Or am I going to get left to him while he's throwing urethane? See, things like that. So there's a lot of strategy that goes into it, just like it is in any format.
Yeah,
to be honest with you. But
it gives you more time to work with. You can dodge a couple of, and it helps you dodge luck too, because sometimes, and especially in total pins matches. I mean, some of the stuff in the Masters, it's like 3 games total pins. It keeps you from having those rough losses. But at the same time, if somebody gets hot to start and goes like 270, 250, you're probably done, and you can just beat the hole to death and go, 220, 220. But it just doesn't give you any, if you're getting tapped and they're, they go strike Brooklyn or something, it helps you weather some of the luck a little bit too. What?
Yeah, not to mention, like you said, you come out of the gates, you don't have the greatest ball reaction completely on fresh, and then you come off with a guy that's just got the world on fresh. Your tournaments or your round is over for that matter. So it's hard to overcome that. I mean, it's also entertaining too. Don't get me wrong, but it's just between the two, give me best of 7 all day long. Roar. So I know we had on our deal to talk a little bit too about the pattern 4. I know we briefly mentioned it, how the scores were higher and everything. You know what? I think that'd be a lot of fun to bowl on that. I wonder if we could get Jesse to lay that
that'd be really interesting because I kind of want to see. I'm curious. I'm curious.
And he should be able to get his hands on it by now, right?
They already have it. So I mean, they've got all the load data and whatever else because this is that weird kind of abomination. They don't use the same amount of oil, but they do have a Kegel Flex. So.
Sorry, I'm reading. It's all small, so I'm trying to read the numbers on that one. Yeah, 22 mils.
The load data.
It's not a big. That's not a lot of volume.
So it's and that's the thing is, it might be really annoying for Rocky to punch it in, but it's not going to cost him a whole lot on volume.
No, it's not. Rocky would probably be cussing us, but hey, you know what? Even at 41 feet, 22 mils is not a lot. So you're thinking, how is these speed bumps going to take urethane out of play? But they definitely
that's the thing. If you have too much even with the speed bumps, if you have too much volume, the urethane's going to kind of ignore it because the urethane's so smooth that it's going to kind of navigate that easier because it's not going to respond as quickly to dry. It's not going to be as sensitive as the reactive balls. And so basically it kind of forces them to use low end reactive balls, which is what EJ used to win. And he had a great look, and I didn't see anything particularly stand out. It didn't look like anybody had bad ball reaction. Actually, for being a flat, and just look at like it's flat. It's flat.
Yeah, it's flat.
And it's actually kind of a reverse block because there's a little bit more oil outside of that 6-7, the 6-7 board there. There's more oil on the ditch than there is in the middle of the lane. So not only is it flat.
Yeah, I mean, when we talked about it on the last show, I had no idea how this would actually play out. I mean, I really didn't know where to go is where I was trying to say. I mean, I've never seen anything like it, and I've seen some pretty wonky patterns, but hats off to Hoagland. He was spot on it.
And I still think it looks stupid, and I don't understand why you have to do something like this to accomplish the results you're after. But if this is what it takes, this is what it takes, and he absolutely made happen what he wanted to have happen. There was no urethane for anybody to bitch about because normally that's the short flat pattern Flex Seal, basically black hammer. IQ 78, just if it's tough and it's short and it's flat, just throw urethane, and that kind of takes all the challenge out of it, or the intended challenge out of it. But something like this, it's like, no, I'm going to make you, we're going to take that out of the bag. I'm going to make you play in a very specific place, and he accomplished that. It was weird, but it worked out. So I can't really. I don't know why it has to look like that or why you have to resort to something like that. I would think that just, a 22 mil pattern without all the speed bumps, period, would just make that happen. But I guess the speed bumps just make the urethane really, really inconsistent or something. So again, we would have to put it down and see.
Just got to make it spotty or something, right? Like that's the only thing I could think of is just when it kind of down lane, it just gets really spotty.
It would definitely cause you a bunch of angle issues. It would make getting angles right, especially the carry, very tricky. Not necessarily hitting the pocket, but getting urethane through the pocket correctly, because that's just going to make it speed up, slow down, skid hook, and you're just not going to be getting through the pins very well. So.
Yeah. Correct. Yeah, Nico, yes, you could throw the pitch black and purple hammer at any USBC event. They can do that, so they'll be able to do it again for the Masters too. So, let
me see.
But yeah, it was pretty unique and cool. I'm excited to talk a little nationals too because I'm curious on some insights from you a little bit too. Because the tournament starts in 2 weeks, right?
March is normally around the 1st of March is when it normally starts. So, saw your review of the stealth mode. How's it compared to the Hammer Effect Tour and reaction? I think they're fairly close. It's just the Effect Tour is a little more defined, and it's not necessarily sharper. And I really don't think it's sharper than the stealth mode because it's pretty sharp for the kind of ball that it is. There's just the shapes are different. Like the Effect Tour is a very archy phase 2 shaping kind of ball. The stealth mode is rounder or something like it. It's like a IQ Tour versus a phase 2 if they were the same strength, basically. So the Effect Tour is a little more defined, a little more directional. You get at the back of it, it will kind of straighten out. The stealth mode will pick up and still continue. But they're fairly similar in overall hook potential. So I like it quite a bit. It's going to be making the trip to league tomorrow.
And they're both blue. Has Kulik have they done the stealth mode one yet?
Yeah, they're pretty. Jersey? I actually put that in the video, and that one looks cool. I'm going to order one of those actually because it looks really cool. I like the
Hammer Effect Tour.
I really like the ball jerseys that they put out, and so I'm kind of getting some of those.
I finally got to throw my effect tour that we drilled like a month ago.
Yeah.
It feels like anyways, but it's still got so much chalk on it. Like they're trying to get me the guys are trying to talk me into practicing a little bit before nationals with it just to get it to go down there because it doesn't need that much chalk, to be honest with you. And I was like, guys, I'm not throwing this on league night because I'm not chewing up the front part of the lane that fast.
Well,
if I was left-handed,
it may or may not need that much surface. It really depends. If they continue, because they've done the same thing for nationals, or a very similar thing for nationals for years now, and it's just they swap the doubles and singles pattern for a little bit. But I don't think that was a great decision because the shorter, flatter team pattern is the one that you need people's help breaking things down. I think it made it opened team up too much to have it be the longer, easier pattern. People could just get on it and score from the get-go. You really didn't need your teammates to tell you. There didn't really need a whole lot of teamwork, whatever. It was just hittable for them to jump, and all you had to do was just make sure that you stayed out of your own way. Whereas the doubles and singles pattern, you were kind of stuck just making shots and on something that was pretty brutal for a couple of years. And so I'm glad that they switched it back to where it's back to, you really got to pay attention and work together to get after that team pattern. But then doubles and singles is hittable from the start. You just have to make good shots and stay out of your own way.
Yeah, it's kind of what we were discussing on Sunday when we did our little mock practice. Just trying to come up with a game plan. Really, it was more of a let's all get together and figure out what balls we want to take and what really we want to do. Granted, we're going to do a team practice session down there in Baton Rouge. But it's like I said, it's more of a, all right, here's what we got in the bags. What do we want to take? What are we eliminating? What are we bringing? And then, of course, the game plan of everybody for 10 minutes of practice, throw chalk up 5 or to the gutter, just up the gutter inside of 5. And then on the other lane, everybody take plastic, throw it up 13, 14, just to build you a little shim.
Yeah.
Truthfully, I could see the benefit of both, kind of like we discussed. I think we're going to plan on doing something like that. The big thing is what do I need to take? I've started to narrow down balls. I'm definitely going to take a sensor solid. Is definitely going to make the bag. That thing looked pretty good when we broke it down. But that's what we were discussing a little bit on Sunday was how we think they're probably going to be pretty damn similar to what they have been. Where I think team pattern for sure. I mean, I think if you go with the similar strategy to what you always do, you're probably going to be pretty successful.
Yeah, that's kind of what I think too. Because again, if you go back and look at the patterns, aside from them, like I said, flipping the singles and doubles and team patterns for a couple of years, everything team is normally in that shorter, flatter 38, 39-ish zone. No, I think that team was drier last year than it normally is. Like it was only like 23 or 24 mils, where normally both the patterns are 28, 29. And so it did add an interesting little wrinkle to where normally you just, a 38-foot, 30 mil pattern, you just throw a bunch of surface at and you burn yourself up something to bounce off of. But when it's shorter and flatter and it already starts dry to begin with, you can try to burn it up, but it kind of takes urethane out of the equation a little bit because it's not quite enough volume for urethane to be really effective on. And it was really rough for me and Chaz. Normally we have some kind of a line when there's like 28, 29 mils. We had nothing in team last year. And, Trevor started off with, he shot 120 or 130 out the gates. Matt McNeil only shot 550 on the team pattern. Spencer shot like 560. Chaz and I were like 480, 510 or something. It was just absolutely, completely miserable. What are you talking about, bro?
And they definitely had to have been tighter than what we bowled on Sunday because we bowled on the team pattern last year. But obviously, you have the Royal Crest friction involved there. But just Storm, what the game plan really is more of a burn it up 5 so you can get left and kind of play it there. So it kind of gives you more house shot bounce off the gutter is what the idea there is.
Yeah, the problem is people aren't hitting 5. They're going 11 to 5. Yeah, that's really what it is. I'm going straight up 5. It's like the ball is hitting 5 at some point, but you're not going straight up 5. Trust me.
No, if you've seen us, we're literally all laying the ball right at 5. We're standing on top of the 5 board and laying
that's
right
most
at 5.
of the time what people think is like, well, I'm hitting 5. It's like, no, you're supposed to go straight up 5, not just bounce it at some point.
I get what he's saying now. I totally went over my head. I'm stupid. I'm sorry.
It was the same thing.
Please don't judge me.
Because the BJ and the team practice session were in the center at South Point, and then the tournament lanes played different because we did a couple years in Reno. We did 2 practice sessions. We were able to get 2 of those in. Last year we only got 1, but we felt pretty good coming off of it because we do have one team throw plastic up 15 on one lane, and then we have the other team on the other lane throw chalk up the ditch to see what we've got to work with. And basically what we always figure out is that it's a good idea to have people doing both. Have some people, when you get on the tournament lanes, have some people throwing plastic up 15, have some other people, have the other half of the group throw chalk up the side, so you get a little bit of the best of both worlds. Because if you have push in the middle, but you have no forgiveness to the right, it's just as bad as having, forgiveness to the right, but no push in the middle. So a little bit of the best of both worlds ended up working the best, but then, the lefties, me and Chaz, are just kind of stuck doing our own thing. And normally we work together pretty well, but we never score together well at all. Like when we're breaking the pattern down, and even in doubles and singles, I'll bowl good the first set and he'll bowl bad the first set, and then we'll swap. We have never put a good set together in the same set ever. And I don't know.
Well, that's changing this year in 2025.
I mean, I would hope so, but it's just super funny that our good, but the lanes always break down. We always have a good plan and we get them broken down nicely. It just depends on who hits what, but he's got a whole lot higher speed than I do. And so if kind of slow and rolly works, then it's going to be me. And then that just kind of puts him out. So.
Yeah. Cause you guys go in July.
Yeah. Middle of July, so that's going to be rough in Baton Rouge. Now, somebody made Rocky said, I hope they deal with the humidity. I'm ready for that humidity there because I don't want to be accidentally sliding. That's going to be amazing. Those super stupid, tacky approaches where I can just walk up and Velcro myself to the approach. Normally, I walk around looking for water puddles to step in. So if somebody's talking about, like the snow for tomorrow night, please take your shoes off. It's like, no, stomp around down here so I can get the dust off of my shoes,
Oh, Royal Crest approach has been really slick here lately. So, like, really, really slick. Anyway, that's why I'm glad we're going in March. For that reason, because it shouldn't be bad. Actually, the approaches should be good. The only thing that sucks about us going when we're going is we're pretty much 2 weeks into a brand new build, brand new pins, brand new lanes. So they're probably going to play pretty tight, I assume.
That's another thing, too, is depending on if they're brand new lanes, you'll be bowling on a fresh install. And then throughout the year, it's not going to change a whole lot on the left side, but on the right side, it should soften up fairly significantly.
As that track gets built.
Because you guys are going to be bowling on a fresh install. And I would imagine that they're fresh lanes.
Yeah.
Unless they just happen to save the ones, because we haven't had a
Baton Rouge, right?
Syracuse.
No.
Syracuse was the last one that they built in a convention center, and then otherwise it's been Reno or Vegas ever since then.
What year was El Paso?
El Paso was 15 or 14 or 15. I think it was 15.
Okay.
So they had El Paso, and then they went to I think it was Reno in 16. And then Vegas 17, Syracuse 18. And then we went to Reno, and then 2020, obviously, we skipped. And then I think it was Reno again, Reno, Vegas, or Vegas, Reno, Vegas, or something like that. But
are you going to plan on
we
going
are not going to Reno next year because it was so wretched last time we went that I'm just never doing it again.
I'd rather not go. I don't know if our group's going to go. If they go,
Johnny's doing our bathroom right now. That's kind of what I was talking to him about, and he's like, yeah, I have no desire to go to Reno again either. So it might be one of those things where we're going to take a family trip to Branson, and I'm just never going. I don't care about I think I'm getting close to. I think I'm at 15 years right now. I'm getting close to 20. I mean, this is going to break my, but I had my consecutive streak broken a couple times. There were a couple of years that we didn't go.
Right.
But I'm not really worried about the consecutive thing. It just, Reno was such a wretched experience last time, and I like Reno. You know, everybody else are the ones that say, God, I really hate Reno. And I'm like, man, I'm just there to bowl. I'm not there to gamble. I'm not there to sightsee, whatever else. I'm there to bowl. And so the National Bowling Stadium is great. But everything around Reno was just so wretched. And that's the funny thing, is that Reno ruined it. The bowling was the National Bowling Stadium. I like the renovations. Everything looked cool. There was a few frustrating things, again, about the tournament and the tournament staff, but it wasn't that big of a deal. The bowling was the bright spot. The rest of Reno made the trip freaking miserable, and so I'm just never going back.
The Reno's just a shithole. It really is. I'm sorry if anybody listens to this and is from that area, but
and even then,
dirty.
They cleaned up between like we always stay at Silver Legacy, and between there and the stadium, when you walk down there, and they had all those grungy little shops around the side. They completely cleaned all that out, and it's actually, the area is nice, but there's still all the homeless people, there's still the trash, there's still the filth, there's still the whatever else, and they don't have, everything's $1 million. You couldn't even get breakfast for less than $20 there. You could get a couple pieces of bacon, 3 eggs, and a couple pieces of toast for $18.95 in their cafe in there. And so we just ended up driving a few miles south to Black Bear Diner. And if you get south of the casinos there, or you get away from that general area around the stadium, it gets really nice really quick.
Hey, Black Bear Diner.
Yeah, we ate Black Bear every single day. And then they had the Brew Brothers or whatever, the brewery that's between Silver Legacy and El Dorado, I think. And it was the best and most reasonably priced thing. They don't have the Silver Legacy doesn't have the buffet anymore, and so we couldn't get breakfast there. We didn't have whatever else. The food court that they have in there was ridiculous.
Yes, heard about the homeless everywhere. Yeah, actually, my brother-in-law, we were down there. I think I can tell the story, right? We were staying at Harrah's, which is no longer there, next door to the stadium. And they got the stadium, then you got the train track, and then there was Harrah's. I don't know what it is now. I haven't been there since 2011. I told myself I wouldn't go back. Anyways, he caught a little bit of a heater in the casino and hit a royal flush on a video poker machine. Johnny was with us. We had probably drank vodka Red Bulls since like 9 o'clock in the morning. And it's probably, at this point in time, it's probably 7, 8 o'clock at night. Just constant vodka Red Bulls. And so we all were like, oh, there's another casino diagonal. So if you know where Harrah's used to be, just you walk diagonal across the street. We go over there and we kind of get on, we play we play blackjack, whatever. He decides to get on another machine and hits another jackpot on it for probably another $600-700. So he's sitting on quite a bit of money. A bunch of us decide to go back. I go back, and he decides that he's gonna meet us back over there. So we go back over. We decide to sit down at the poker table, and we all playing poker. We got kicked off the poker table because we were cursing because we all wanted alcohol. And he decides he wants to go back over to the casino across the way, and we all decided we're done. Like it's late night, hearts are pounding from drinking vodka Red Bulls all day. And when he walked back from that casino back over by himself at probably 3 o'clock in the morning, he got robbed with all that cash. And so that's ever since that night, we probably won't go back there now. So I'd be shocked if I do. At least I know he's not listening, so I can tell the story.
I mean the Nationals, the bowling stadium renovations are pretty cool. It does look good. You still have that ridiculously stupid hallway that you have, the 1,000,000-degree hallway that you have to walk down. That's a frickin' greenhouse.
That's on the very far west side of the
south side. I think it's on, when you walk in, it's the right side of the building. I don't know whether that's south, or I'm just thinking like, I don't know. My directions could be all flipped around there.
Well, that'd be the east side of the building.
That'd be the east. Theoretically, it would be the east.
No, you said right side.
Well,
I can't remember without walking in that building and thinking about it. I can't remember exactly what it is. But yes, I know exactly what you're talking about.
I don't know if the doors you walk into the west side or the south side, but yeah, just the right side.
It's the one with all the windows, right?
Even when it's, because we went at an odd time a couple of years ago because we took so long to sign up that they only had spots in like April, unless we wanted to do the 11 p.m., 7 a.m. squad times. We're like, screw that. So we just decided to go in April, and it was still a zillion degrees in that hallway in the middle of April. So,
oh yeah,
it just, and that was, we went before they lowered the prices for everything. Like a Bud Light, Coors Light Tall Boy was $15. And they had some stupid premium mixed drink that they had coming out of a spigot in this stupid plastic container that you'd see in a cafeteria in a hospital or something like that. And it was $20 for a 16-ounce premium that they just used all the cheap shit and just poured bottles of crap in.
Yeah.
And it's like it was $4.50 for a bottle of water, where I had a bottle of water.
Have you booked your hotel room for Nationals yet? Because I just got the damage from Johnny. How much our hotel room is there for 3 nights?
We have not booked. I don't think so. But was it $200 a night or something?
Well, it's $788 for 3 nights.
Cool.
Yeah, and that's us staying pretty close to the convention center. We were going to do a B&B, but Johnny actually has a guy that lives down there that he's friends with, and he said that he actually lives in a pretty decent area, and it's still sketchy. So Johnny's like, I won't do a B&B. I'm like, what's the difference between a hotel? You got your car broken into in a damn hotel. So
yeah,
what's
I
the
mean,
difference?
hashtag Tulsa. But
yeah, I know.
We might have some points to use this year, but I do not think that we have booked, because last year we just stayed across the river, and it was, or I guess not last year, 12 years ago. We stayed 13 years ago.
2012?
Yeah, we stayed across the river, and of course, I mean, it was fine back then, but we might, since we're driving, we might stay a little bit further away just because we're going to have a car. We're not going to have to Uber or whatever else.
And no, we did not get the USB-C discount because we went through the same hotel, and the USB-C website said they were sold out, yet we got through the hotel themselves and we got the room. And the reason why we're staying in that same hotel is because Trevor and Dylan are riding with us, and they got the room booked on Sunday. Johnny forgot, so we had to pay a little extra.
Yeah, I mean,
is what it is. What is $394 that I don't need?
That's not too bad, but I mean, we'll figure out. I don't know if she's gotten our Angel might have already. I don't think she actually did. She got right on there as soon as we figured out what our dates were. She went ahead and got right on there and took care of it. I think it's still
honestly, we didn't.
I think it's still expensive, but dude.
Well, at the time too, we didn't know it was just Johnny and I that were going to drive down, right? So we didn't know that Trevor and Dylan were going. Originally, Trevor was going to fly to the baby. Well, then he came back and said, well, you guys have room, I'll ride. Like, yeah, we got room. And then once Dylan found out that, like, Amanda wasn't going and Haley wasn't going.
Aspen, come here, baby. Come here.
Haley decided she was going to, Ashley decided she was going to stay. So Dylan's like, well, do you have room? So with one car, we don't want to all stay in like 4 different places. So we're going to bite the bullet. Amanda's not going to like that when I walk up there and tell her the price of that.
You're nice.
You
guys want to go back outside? I'm gonna
ask for forgiveness later, right?
Doofus is back outside because it at least snowed and Storm's losing his mind. So,
I have no doubt. I have no doubt about it. He puts me in charge. All right, let me pull up the PBA here and see what we got going on here. I've got the main screen on, so I'm not really getting scores. For those that are watching the tournament in Springfield right now, can anybody give me some updates here? I guess I can pull up PBA.com here real quick. Should have some updated standings, I would think, right? The scores were right here. Yeah, we're at after game 7. Bailey Maverick is vaulted to the lead at plus 309. EJ Tackett second with plus 298. I'll give you the top 10 to round it out. Ryan Barnes third, which that guy could have a better start to his PBA career as a young guy. Alec Keplinger at plus 230. Good for him. I like Keplinger a lot. Guy throws it really, really good. Kyle Troop at 5, plus 227 after kind of a rough start to the season. He's bowling well this week. Chris Prather, plus 222. Sean Maldonado, plus 212. Our boy, Zach Wilkins, plus 209. And Tim Foy, plus 207. And around out the top 10, Andrew Hall at plus 199. So, got the Troop man coming back after kind of a rough start to the season. Like I said, he's throwing it really good right now. Man, how much fun is Ryan Barnes to watch? I mean, Really.
And I like him because,
Kid
which is really weird because he's got that head game like Simonson. Head game. But he's got that mental game that just like he's just gonna throw the ball down there and knock pins down. He doesn't add any frills. He doesn't make it interesting. He doesn't think too much. He just walks up there and knocks pins down. And which is kind of because his dad was always known as the super thinker, and he got himself into trouble because he'd overthink things on TV all the time. And Ryan's like completely opposite. Like he's got that Simo, I'm just going to go up there and knock the pins down. If they fall down, cool. If they don't, I guess I'll try it again next week. He's just super even keel and chill, and
Well, then nothing affects him like at all.
Mm-hmm.
Just kid's gonna be really, really, really good, man. Really good. That's a really good question, Nico. You two of them. I'll start with: will Ryan or Cam get Rookie of the Year? Cam is a really good bowler. He really is a good bowler. I don't know, man. I think Ryan Barnes gets him. And that's not favoritism or anything like that. But Cam is so good. I just think the right side's usually better than the left, especially out on tour. Well, usually the lefties, you'll know when they have a good week because there's a lot of them either on the show or up in that top 10 number. So it's hit or miss on the left side. And then have you decided what kind of balls you're taking to the Open Championships? Yeah, I'm actually, we're all here. We can discuss this. So right now, I have one bag labeled down as Sensor Solid NV Tour. I have a Fresh Effect Tour. Here's the big question. Luke, you can answer this. Chat can answer this. Do I take an Effect Tour and an NV Tour in the same bag?
I feel like they're different enough. I think they're different shapes, number one. I think the NV Tour is a little earlier and slower, plus it's more of a round shape. The Effect Tour, especially as you get some shine on it, is going to be a little cleaner, a little more defined, and it's kind of an archy, kind of directional shape. Where the NV Tour picks up and continues. The Effect Tour, if you want to get up the back of it and get it to do that Chris Barnes hook set thing, it will do that. It's kind of like the Effect Tour and the Sensor Solid kind of shape similarly. I think the Sensor Solid rolls heavier, and it's a little earlier rolling, but the Effect Tour is a little cleaner. But they've got that same kind of archy. They can be forward, but they can be continuous depending on what you do with your hand type of deal.
Yeah, see, that's the thing is that I've got so much chalk on it right now that I haven't been able to throw it enough to know what the two difference between them. The guys have been telling me they think that I've had one tell me, well, I think they'd overlap, and then I've had Trevor going, no, that thing they're two different balls. I think they both fit. Anyways,
I think they're two different balls, but it really depends on how much, if you want, because there is going to be a little hook potential overlap, but I tend to favor different shapes in kind of the same zone over a bunch of different hook potentials and kind of not paying attention to the different shapes. Because if you, again, you don't have that big of a rev rate, you're probably going to be playing straighter. And so I would say that if you have something that's close on the hook potential, but it's not getting through the pins the right way, being able to swap to something else that's about the same strength, but that just shapes a little differently, I think that might be better for you versus taking a bunch of different, because you're not going to get down to anything like a high road or something, even like a Venom recoil maybe.
I've actually thought about a Venom recoil going either that or a shock.
Well, and that's the other thing too, is that considering who you're going with, Jared, the only ones that you're going to have out there with you are Grandpa and Jaden and Paul. Grandpa, Jaden, and Paul. So you're going to have half the group is going to
see. And Grandpa really likes to swing it. He likes to play that little slow wheel.
Yeah,
he doesn't know
he does that little third arrow thing. You know that Dylan's going to get deep. You know Jared's going to get deep. Trevor's not even on the same side. Johnny's gonna get deeper, and so you're going to have half the group in deeper. You're going to have half the group playing straighter. But
Jerry Jennings is with us too.
Jerry,
I just forgot about him. Lockwood's
going to get deep. Jerry can kind of play all over the place. But you know that Jaden is going to be first to second arrow the entire day, no matter what. because that's just where she plays. I think that you're going to be kind of in that same direction. You're either going to be the super point or you're going to be a little bit of belly, but you're probably going to stay right of third arrow unless it's just a frickin' mess.
Boy, if I can stay right at third arrow, I'd be okay. Jaden's actually my doubles partner too. So, which the girl's been on fire this year. I have not complained about that one bit. And she bowls on patterns a lot.
That would be pretty good.
Yeah.
Because you both, if you have the look, you both should score.
Yeah, so I agree with that. And we can work together pretty easily too, since we're going to both be in the same zone. So, yeah. Outside of those, I'm going to take a Summit. I'm going to take a Theorem, a Purple Hammer. And I was thinking we were trying to figure out something else that's a little cleaner, but still not super pointy, as in super sharp. I think an IQ2 Ruby, I think, is going to make the bag. I'm going to take a little extra since we're driving.
Yeah, having a just-in-case ball would definitely be a good idea.
Yep. So that's kind of, as of right now, that's the bag idea for now. I don't think I need to take anything like a big, strong ASIM. I mean, I guess I could take like a Jackal Ghost. That probably wouldn't hurt at all.
And it's something cleaner with a little bit of shape that you can get in a little bit too. If it's just one of those things where you guys beat up the side or it's another thing like last year where it's just like 22 or 23 mils where the volume's not very heavy and you have to get in.
Yeah.
You might just need something that's not digging so early.
Yeah, no, that's probably not a bad idea. I'm wondering if I need to drill something else.
This is the other thing about driving is that you can only take 8 balls into each event, but they don't have to be the same 8 balls. So typically I've taken 11 in the past, 11, 12, whatever else. I've gone to the practice sessions, the BJ, whatever else, and then I've picked 8 balls for team and 8 balls for doubles and singles. And so, if you're flying, you may not want to spend the money on taking that many bags, or the Bowling Ball Express is kind of crazy, but
8 balls is a weird number. Why not make it 9?
Yeah. I think it's, I don't know.
You know how big of a pain in the ass is to carry 8 balls in compared to 9? Or I can at least drag 2 bags with one hand compared to, that's stupid, but whatever. Yeah, that's kind of the thoughts on Arsenal for now. I think that's a pretty good, solid idea. And the other thing too is if we beat the right side up pretty good towards the gutter, I think Jade and I rev rates of stuff are low enough that I think we could just kind of chase it left and should be able to still feed it to the gutter. It's just got to change our angles up a little bit. So I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, that kind of makes sense to me. Because I think that in team you're definitely going to be throwing Sensor Solid, NV Tour, stuff like that. In double and singles, you might be able to break out the Summit, which is kind of the same idea as the Sensor Solid. It's just a little more ball, I guess, maybe even.
That Sensor Solid, I think, is going to be.
Yeah. You might even just throw that. That might even be the ball the entire freaking time, but
very good chance. Because Dylan was asking me, he's like, "How fresh is that cover?" And I said, "Well, shit, Luke and I drilled it. I don't remember when we drilled it. It's been about a year ago, and actually, it's been about a year ago, maybe a little less. And I haven't thrown it a whole lot just because on house shots it's just kind of pukey. So I'm like, I bet I have 10 games on it, and then I took it down to Swiss and I hit it with 500.
Throw it,
and then I haven't thrown it because I'm not going to throw it on a house shot with 500 on it. So I took it there and threw it. Dylan goes, that ball's making the bag.
Yeah,
like, you may throw it all weekend.
Yep, so, I think you're pretty well set on what you're taking.
Yeah. Oh, and plastic too. Don't let me forget that. There's a slight chance I may drill a new plastic ball before we go because I'm about to lose a thumb out of that, and it's not switch grip; it's cracking around the thumb. Yeah. The typical plastic deal. Maybe we'll see if I feel like spending the extra money. If not, I think I should be able to limp it through there. It'd be all right. It's not like I'm bowling. Excuse me, I'm not bowling a ton between now and then. So. Oh, and did you hear the story on our Hayes doubles trip yet?
I did talk to Johnny about that. So
that was a kick in the ass. Where we caught a pair where I had no ball reaction like whatsoever, and I went split, And Trevor's like, oh, just change your angles up a little bit. I think you're all right. Crunch. Then Johnny and I are like, okay, we have to shoot 220 this last game to make the number. And we were in the number. Like, we started the day with like 250 something out of the gate. Then we struggled to shoot 2-0 and Baker. And then we just caught a couple of rough pairs where the first pair we were on just hooked a shitload. And I mean, they hooked more than any fresh house shot I've ever seen. And then we get down to we had to make the turn after game one, and they're super tight. And so scores just kind of flatline. Scores, the cut number are going up. And of course, I had to hit that pair where I just could not find anything. Like, I was throwing it really good. And the balls, like, I had a little fry out moment. Yes, I did. I didn't hit anything or anything. It's just a nice little profanity at the foul line. And then we looked at each other like, all right, if we shoot 220 here, we're in. And we go spare open. Johnny split. I think he went like big 4. Like, we're okay here. As long as we put like 4 or 5 together here, we're fine. We get the 5-bagger. We get in there. Johnny kind of gets one there a little quick, and he 10 pins, and unfortunately he missed it. But if he makes that spare, not that it matters. If we could have done a lot of things differently with a 3-pin swing to make it. But he beat himself up pretty good over that. And I told him, like, don't beat yourself up, dude. If I didn't split 3 times in game 3, it wouldn't be.
Yeah, we talked a little bit about that. Because it's one of those things you can always, with that few pins, you can always find. Yeah, I mean, something like that, especially when you're bowling more games, it can be as simple as not getting more pins on a split.
On a split, yeah.
Like, if you leave a Greek church, if you go 5-1 or 6-1 or whatever else a couple times in the set, that's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 pins. Depending on what you do. And sometimes if you leave it early in the game and you're trying to shoot it, whatever else, but you can always find 3. It's not. Yeah, sure, it was a bad thing to happen at a bad time, but you can find the pin somewhere else too.
I also told him too, is like, I let him have his moment and kind of walk away, and just like any of us. And he knows I love him to death. And I told him, I said, you know what? Don't beat your head up against the wall, because as bad as it got for a game where it kind of sunk, we thought it sunk our day. I said, we did what we had to do to put our asses back there where we could get there. So we worked well. We knew what we had to do, and we got ourselves there, and it just didn't go our way. So, he's got to understand too. I was pretty frustrated too, because we could have probably been 40 pins to the good.
Yeah.
And we weren't in the Calcutta, and Trevor and Dylan weren't in the Calcutta. They didn't make it. They were probably 30, 40 sticks behind us.
Yeah.
They just played really wonky this year, and there was like no money in the Calcutta. There was a lot of handicap teams in there. There's no knock on handicap teams, but you get in there, they kind of want the names, the guys that they know. All right, I've watched these guys bowl and match play. They're going to make a run. Johnny and I have usually we get to the quarters or semis every year. So in the Calcutta, they know they're going to make money on us.
Yeah.
And then what Trevor and Dylan are. So this is the first year that either of us gone down there and not made the cut.
Yeah.
So
because normally it's kind of a shitty day, because you guys are normally bowling long enough that.
Yeah.
Because, again, Johnny's been remodeling our bathroom. Yep. And so I was wondering, what time he was going to show up on Monday. And I got a text at like 2 or 3 o'clock on Sunday. I was like, I'll see you first thing tomorrow morning. It's like, oh, they must have had a bad
day. You say 2, 3 o'clock? That is very fresh off the being frustrated part. That was very fresh.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be honest with you, though. Getting home at like 6:30, 7 o'clock, though, was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I looked at Amanda. I was like, because Raylan was at her parents, and I said, call your mom. Tell her to make me dinner. We're coming. We're coming. And then what killed time was that's where I watched the US Open show. Was in the car on the way home. So I told Amanda, I was like, I know you're driving, so I don't, by the way, everybody that watches this or goes back and watches, I don't tell everybody to do this, but I put the phone up on the car while we were driving. And turn on the US Open show so we can both listen to it and watch it. But it helped kill some time. That drive is awful, by the way. Absolutely awful. And we went to Defiance, but we went to the one in Hayes that's directly next to.
Yeah, he told me about that. He said that you guys found some nice little game place that was. So you went to Defiance and you ate at Old Chicago later, which is,
I like
Chicago is a. It's just right there by the hotels, all the hotels. So
we walked. It was in our parking lot.
Yeah. That's
but
pretty
Defiance beer was really good, but we went to this place that was directly next door to it was the downtown Defiances. They have the two.
Mm-hmm.
And we walk in there and there's like axe throwing. You go around, there's a big giant virtual reality thing.
Yeah.
And then to the right of it, there's like probably 20 taps of beer. And it's literally one of those, you tap a card and then you put you self-serve yourself.
Yeah.
Kind of like
the brew bank that we had here.
Yes. And then you walk from there to the counter, you take a left and go maybe 20 feet to the left. They've got 6 lanes of duck pin bowling. Like
that would be so awesome.
Actual duck pin bowling. Then they have an upstairs where they got free. You can play shuffleboard, TVs everywhere. Johnny and I just sat up there and drank beer, played shuffleboard, and it was pretty sweet. I know I told Amanda's like, good thing Raylan's not here. Good Lord, we would never get out of here.
Yeah, dude, shuffleboard. I remember we used to bowl Premier Carpet on Thursday nights at Gage.
Yeah.
And then Jason Crouch and Christy Barr and I would go over and shut down the Slug Out or Goose 2 or whatever else. And I know Slug Out had a shuffleboard. And there was somewhere else. I can't remember. Goose 2 might have been the other one. No, I don't think Goose 2 had a shuffleboard. But anyway, yeah, we used to get on some shuffleboard and, drunk darts and whatever else.
I have a dartboard in my house, so we can play darts anytime you want to play darts.
Mm-hmm.
I had to put stuff all around it because I have a 9-year-old that likes to just chuck darts at the board. So really didn't want holes in my wall.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, can I take these down? I said, is your daughter ever going to throw darts again?
Yeah,
probably. Well, then they're not coming down. Also, I don't know if you noticed this. Just kind of keep bouncing around. BJ Moore went 3 bills. Yes, I just saw that. I just happened to look over. AJ Chapman is also sitting on the front 8 too. Looks like scores are definitely going up this squad for sure. So I got on, just out of curiosity, I got on Springfield's website today because I knew the tournament was starting actually in a couple months. Not a couple months, weeks. It starts around the same time as Nationals.
Yeah, you guys are going to it pretty well, like 2 weeks after Nationals or a week and a half.
Yeah, literally, we're traveling all of freaking March, it feels like.
Yeah.
So I got on there and I was like, I wonder if the oil patterns are going to still be the same. I wonder if they're going to change things up because they did that Monticelli pattern or whatever it was for doubles and singles and then whatever it was for team. It actually says on there, if you get on their website, GreaterOzarksOpen.com or whatever it is, oil pattern information for 2025 still says coming soon. So I'm wondering if they're going to change some things up. I hope so because that Monticelli pattern down there was brutal.
Dude, I've never, Sunshine is always tough, and I didn't really throw it that great. I threw it really good for doubles and singles and Enterprise, and it was wretched.
I would love one year if they would just make them hook. Just make them hook.
Yeah. I threw a black hammer, and I got tapped all day long, and I've had a history of that here. Let me see what Ozarks doubles singles. I shot 1183. And let me see.
I bowled awful last year.
Yeah.
I bowled okay in team event, but doubles and singles, man, it was awful.
Yeah. Yeah, doubles and singles, I missed 5 makeables in 6 games. 4 of those were 7 pins, but I averaged under 200. It was just kind of rough.
AJ Chapman's run stops at the front 9. Sorry.
540 at Ozarks, or at
by the way,
Team House. Stay hot.
You said 540 at Team House?
Yeah.
So I don't remember what I shot. I think it was like
I shot like
opens. 6. I think I shot like 620 in team, and it felt like a way more than that.
Split.
Because I threw it really good. I just couldn't carry anything. It just felt like everything that I was throwing was just early and pukey because I was using some service because I couldn't get the ball to wrinkle. Like they were wet. They're always so tight there that I wish one year they just throw a wrinkle in everybody's plans and then just hook. Just hook.
That's kind of the cool thing though, because if you can shoot 630, you're going to be pretty good in brackets most of the time.
Yes.
I think the last time that I went with Trevor's group with you guys, I shot 630 and I doubled or tripled up on brackets, and I didn't have anything spectacular. I didn't have a game over 220, I don't think. I think it was like a 2-0, 2-team, 2-0 or something like that.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, put $50 in, shoot
Yep.
630, and you're golden.
You and I actually both did the same thing. I made actually a decent amount, and that was the year that James bowled really, really good in team and got his ass cleaned, and we made more money than he did in practice. Oh, it is what it is, man. I'm just saying. I will always go to Sunshine and play a lot. I mean, just
because you don't have to bowl that good, because
if you make your spares, you're gonna make money.
Yeah,
you're gonna make money.
Yeah, and I have gotten to the point where a 7-pin feels like a makeable spare.
Yeah.
So I've done really
a 7-pin feels like a makeable spare.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Good for you.
Yeah. I was grand finale. We bowled 6 games. I had 10 of them, but I made 9 of them.
There you
go. Let me see. Let me look at my.
And yes, Rocky, the Primal Rage Evo is good. Sorry, it is
Yeah,
good, but that's not going. The last motive ball, I throw like 3 motive balls right now. It's a Jackal Ghost, a Venom Shock, and a Venom Recoil. Outside of that, I don't touch many motive balls. I've thrown enough of them in my life. I'm okay for a while.
Yeah, let me see. I like the Evoke that I drilled this year. The Hyper Venom was wretched.
Actually, I kind of want to drill the Lethal Venom.
The Jackal Onyx is really good. That one's still hanging out because I really like that ball. I didn't think that there was any way I'd be able to throw it, but it's really good, and I like it, and it's hanging out, and it's going to go places with me. I may not end up throwing it like the grand finale, but
I lied to you too. I still carry a desert tank around if I'm bowling on a pattern somewhere.
Yeah.
If I'm in a pattern, I'll take if it's like something short, the desert goes just to give me that reaction shape, but
yeah,
still urethane type shape.
I meant to get to this. Mr. Stabby asked 40 minutes ago if the swag was still in the bag, and yes, but not the swag balls I thought that would be. Like originally going through, like the Black Dragon I wasn't big on, and then the Crazed Solid I wasn't big on, but the Crazed Solid may be my new spare ball / bottom of the bag ball. I've taken it the last couple Fridays and shot 7 pins with it, and I haven't missed one with Crazed Solid.
You think it's just a feel thing or what?
I think it's a feel. I think I'm getting better. I figured out what I was screwing up or what I was doing wrong on 7 pins, and since I fixed that, I've been 90% on 7 pins, which is fantastic. I'll take that the rest of my life if it never gets any better. But I really like the Judge. The Fusion has ended up being just a little weak most of the time.
Yeah.
I really like the Judge. The Crazed Solid I like. The Crazed Pearl was definitely really good. And the Black Dragon looks significantly better on the house shot than it does on the testing pattern. But I really like the Judge. I love the Crazed Pearl. The Crazed Solid's coming around. The Fusion, if I just have a little bit more friction, I threw it at the Veterans Tournament the entire weekend. It did really. That's the only ball I threw the entire time, and I did pretty good with it. And I shot. I'm shooting the same in league that I've shot with the swag stuff that I've shot with everything else, which is like 650 to 670, pretty well every single week. But yeah, the swag stuff is still in the bag.
Oh, and we're bowling a tournament together coming up here too. Our local city tournament. Not that it's anything special.
Yeah.
But,
yep.
It's you and Yuri and me and Johnny and Trevor. And so Johnny backed out of singles and doubles. So we just got to figure out the doubles. Trevor's bowling doubles with us. Okay. It doesn't matter who bowls doubles. If you want to bowl with Yuri or Trevor, it don't matter.
It doesn't matter to me.
It don't matter to me either. One's going to bowl with the lefty regardless. So
yeah.
Yuri said something to me last night. He goes, I don't know. Luke and I might bounce back after we cast together last time. I was like, hey, if you guys want to bowl together again, I don't care.
Yeah, we actually had in Tulsa, and I mean, he carried me a little bit, but I think I shot 670 or 680. He shot 720 or 730, so
we can run it back. We're going to bowl the 26th and 27th. So
yeah, okay, 26th and 27th.
Yep, Yuri's going to put it in. I won't be there this Thursday, so I'll send him a note and tell him to put it in. But yeah, Trevor said he's in.
Yep, I'm actually Ryan Klaus bowled the last 5 or 6 frames of the set last week two-handed because his thumb was killing him.
Yeah.
We have not had a good half so far.
We haven't either. So,
but we're bowling Eric Moore's team, who has not had a good season thus far, and Brian Zachary is going to bowl with us.
oh,
So
really?
we're gonna do a little switcheroo because I'm in the leadoff spot, and Ryan has been the anchor, the lead, or 4 spot this year. But Ryan's not bowling, and so I'm gonna have BZ sub, which his average is lower than mine, so that's gonna push me into the 4 hole against Eric, and then BZ is gonna take the leadoff spot. So we'll see how that works out, but.
That's a guy I have not seen in years.
Yeah, he bowls Wednesday nights out there at Royal.
So I used to bowl Wednesday nights at Royal, and I remember seeing him there. So I wonder, does he live in Lawrence?
He's in Oskaloosa.
Okay, so that makes sense.
So it's close enough.
Yeah.
And then Angel bowls she bowls the women's league on Wednesday nights now with Crystal and Carly Hardman and Mama Hardman, and
I thought she was just a fill-in.
Well, they have a rotation because they don't all want to bowl every single week. So they have 5. It's 4-person teams, and they have 5 of them, and so they kind of rotate in and out. So they don't have to bowl every week.
Makes sense.
And so they asked because Angel subbed with Johnny's team last year a little bit, and Crystal subbed with him sometimes too. And Crystal's like, well, we only have 4 people. We don't want to bowl. We don't all want to bowl every single week. Do you want to get in the rotation with us? And so Angel's really enjoyed bowling with them because, again, Carly is very even keel. Crystal is. Mama Hardman is too. And the other woman they have on the team is they're just all very relaxed and whatever else. And so it's been a really great thing for Angel so far. And that's where she's at.
And it's good. She gets to go hang out with the ladies.
She's at right now. Yeah. So. I mean, I would.
Because she always says, "I can't bowl around girls."
Yeah,
like, now you get to.
She really doesn't like women, but I would love to bowl on that team too, with Crystal and Carly and whatever else. So
I was talking to John Hardman actually last Thursday, and I came up to him and I was like, "You know what I've never done?" He goes, "What's that?" I said, "I've actually never came and toured your place." Really?
Yeah.
Said, no, I've never done it. He goes, "You call me. And you come up anytime you want." And he goes, "It's like it's huge." I was like, "It doesn't matter. I still think it'd be cool to come see the place." He goes, "Yeah, just let me know. I'll give you a grand tour anytime you want." So one of these days, I know you've been there. Maybe you and I just take a trip up there. I come snag you and we go and just walk around. I know you've seen the place, but
it's really cool.
I wonder if they'd let us do like a video or something. You and I could do like a vlog video for it.
Oh yeah, we could do something like that. Because Joe Bush is actually their shipping guy.
He's been there for years.
Yeah, he's been there for a million years. And then I think it used to be Alex and Russ that ran the pro shop side of it, but I think it's Nathan and Russ that do the pro shop side of it now. And Alex is he took Jerry Kessler's spot, possibly, once Jerry retired. And so...
Because Jerry did the commercial stuff, right?
Yeah, I think Alex and John are more the front of house office people, and Russ still runs the pro shop side of it. Nathan, does the same thing, and then Joe Bush is there. I think Alex Jimenez works there in the warehouse too. Yeah, but it's a really cool place. I've been there several times.
He's subbing for me tomorrow night. Alex Jimenez is for the second time. Maybe Amanda will let me quit my job and I'll just go work at Jayhawk Bowling Supply.
Yeah.
You got a good question here from Vanities. Aside from what you guys are throwing, what balls do you see doing well at leagues and tournaments? It's a great question, actually, because it seems like we see stuff that scores around here that doesn't score in other places.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you think? We'll start with you.
I think just some of the stuff that you kind of know about.
Yeah.
The theorem. Has looked good for. There's a couple people in Discord that are like, "Oh yeah, that's the worst ball I've ever thrown." And I'm like, man, I don't understand how, because the theorem looks good for everybody
except me.
Absolutely everybody. The Hammer Effect Tours has looked good for a lot of people. I haven't seen a lot of the physics blackout. I saw a lot of the virtual energy blackout. the physics blackout I think is really good, but I don't know why people aren't. I'm not really seeing those. The Ion Max, surprisingly, I see a few different places, but
remember when the Arctic Vibe came out and how many people around here were throwing it? Like it's all you've seen.
Yeah, and nobody throws that ball anymore.
No.
Which it's okay. I think it's a weaker ball that wants to be a stronger ball, and but it's still kind of a weaker ball at the same time. It doesn't really know what it wants to be. But
Norm Brewster is the only person I see throw that ball that throws it all the time.
I still see a lot of attention stars. That ball is kind of all over the place. But a lot of, again, there's people still throwing Black Widow Ghosts and
Venom Shocks, and there's a ball that's like the tip of my tongue, and really that's why I sent you first, because it's going to take till the end of the show for me to remember this.
Yeah.
And I've seen a lot of it, and I'm like, man, damn, that ball looks pretty good. Yeah, that's going to make me mad. Let's carry on with
GB5s.
No, it's not that one. That's going to make me mad, man.
Do you remember which company it was?
Yeah, I think it's B7 Brands.
Okay.
It's definitely not the vaporized because that ball is slept on. Slept. Good Lord. Slept on.
I drilled Trevor a Mesmerize the other day.
It's probably his first one.
Got around drilling some stuff.
No, it's not that one. Sorry for the orange Band-Aid. I'm trying to... My finger bursted open at league last night, so I'm dealing with that, and all I've got is orange Band-Aids. Golly, that's going to make me mad. I was thinking this last Thursday. Phase AIs. Honestly, the only ones I see throw that is Tobias, my teammate, on Thursdays. He's the only one I ever see throw Phase AI.
Yeah, it's not that good.
The Summit is really good. It's slept on. And really, anybody that couldn't throw anything else.
The real time. The one reverb. See a lot of the one reverb.
The one reverb, yeah.
The real time is nasty. Like that ball is dumb.
It's those two. One of those two are doing really.
Also,
it's definitely one of those two. The real time looks really good, and the one reverb, golly, people are scoring with that thing like crazy. All right, as you're looking that up, we're getting into Game 3 of 6 of the Pete Weber Missouri Classic 2025. I will do a rundown of the top 10 again here in just a minute. It's for those that are watching us and not doing that.
Yeah,
or if you don't care, you're going to listen to it anyway. How about that?
Columbia's Messenger looks pretty good. The new Messenger, like the black gold one that everybody had back in the day.
You know what? Everybody had one, and I always really wanted one, and I never had one.
I had the blue, silver, purple one. I did not have the black and gold one, but everybody else had one. Brian Barr, Matt Phelps, Josh Seidel, Randall. Everybody had that black and gold Messenger, but me.
Yeah, I never had one.
I got the blue, silver, and the purple one, and that was pretty epic. I
cannot give you score updates yet because they're still after Game 7. They've been doing this today, where they're really, really lagging on getting score updates. So
I don't see the hammer effect much anymore. The 3.0, I still see this. I drilled another Scorpion low flare for Trevor because he's going to Southwest this weekend.
Oh, he needs stuff that doesn't hook.
I drilled him a Phantom, a Scorpion low flare, and then a Mesmerize.
He's going to like 4 or 5 times to Southwest, but he's bowling like several team events.
He makes a lot of money there, though.
Yeah, he's won it once, and it's really cool if you win. Their plaque that they give out is really, really sweet.
He had a couple of years ago, his team. He had the top 2 teams. He was on the top 2 teams. They finished first and second.
Yeah.
It was like 37-20 and 37-05 or something like that. Yeah. Just absolutely ridiculously stupid numbers.
Well, his team in Tulsa this year got second, and they got first and scratch.
Yeah.
Because he's like, do I get anything for first and scratch? I was like, I think you guys get one of their little jackets. I know you want the money, but you get the GTO champion jackets are pretty sweet. Because we got 8th and scratch.
I'll let the dogs in here.
All right, let me look again. So, yeah, once again, we're in Game 3, and they're still only showing Game 7. So, he's pulling it up. We're still trying to figure out what bowling balls are good around here. That's a great question, though, because literally There's still one on the tip of my tongue that I can't figure out that I've been seeing a lot of people throw. Yeah, it's still the same thing. So I don't know. What about your area? What's been going on here? What balls look good in your area? Pure Madness has been versatile for me. Compound on House, Chalk on Sport. Okay. I'm seeing the Ivory Rhino Pro quite often. I've seen a few of that. Scorpion Low Flare. Yeah, that Scorpion Low Flare is really good. Teammate of mine just drilled one here recently, and he absolutely loves it. And I was telling him when he's throwing it, don't get out of it as long as possible.
As long as I made another trip up.
Hey, you got to grab some alcohol.
Yeah, this stuff, this Glenlivet Caribbean Reserve is wild because I had something. I had the Quinta Reuben last year, and it was kind of the same thing. It's a Scotch that's aged in Caribbean rum barrels.
Yeah.
And so it gives it a little bit different flavor to it. And I'm like, well, I'm not necessarily into, I'm like into the more smoky flavors.
You definitely are.
And so Angel got me this Caribbean Reserve bottle. It was on a Vern special. And she got it for me, but I looked at the specials and I'm like, I already had something like that last year. I'm not really too interested. But she had already gotten there and picked it up before I told her, don't worry about it. And I'm like, okay, I mean, I'll drink. Scotch is my favorite, so I'll drink Scotch.
Scotchy.
Some of the best stuff I've ever had. So I want to go. Somebody got me a Barrel House gift card for Christmas, and I've been kind of sitting on it because I have plenty of whiskey and I'm not getting through it very fast. But if they still have a bottle or two of this on the shelf, I just want to go get them because this is some of the best stuff I've ever had. It just hits the spot every time.
By the way, before I forget, if anybody that watches the show or after the show that has a hookup on a brand new Summit that wants to hook a brother up, I'll pay for it. I want to stash one. That's literally all I throw now. So I meant to say that earlier. So yes, I need a new Summit. I don't need a new one. I need to stash one for when this one's dead. So please,
you can't have one yet, but I have 3 of them.
Okay, well,
still staring at.
If you're willing to part with one at some point, I will
drill all 3 of them. But I currently have 3. It's like the one I've still got 5 promotions down there that I'm not sure I probably had to drill another one of them. I'm not sure if I'll ever get through 5 promotions, and I'm not sure I'll ever get through 3 more summits.
Never thrown a promotion either.
But I have.
No, yes.
I've got 3 DNAs sitting up there. I need to drill them.
If you ever feel like parting with one, I don't really have anything to trade, but I can.
Buddy, I just
unless you want to drill like the first VIP ball that Motive did. I've got one of those new in box.
I need to drill there. I got so much stuff I need to drill.
I pretty much put holes and stuff. I've got everything. I've got blanks or Motive balls.
He's nice, buddy. Punch.
From being on staff and having blanks.
What are you doing, Buck?
But yes, keep me in mind if you want to part with one. I would really appreciate it. Yeah, because now we're getting to the point where I was able to get. Remember when I looked it up on the show? I was like, I can get one for 115. Yeah, the cheapest one I found was like $200. And everybody else sold out of them. Oh, no. So,
yep, Max, I'll bring you a promotion. I'll bring you a promotion to Dutchman. I got 5 of them left, and I don't think I'm going to make it through all of them.
I don't know if I'd ever throw one of those. I don't like it.
It's a stronger IQ tour, and it's different to kind of get used to, but we will see. The Sub-Zero Forge looks good.
Yes, it does. I need to drill another IQ tour. I was thinking about that. I actually asked Dylan, I was like, should I drill another IQ tour before I go to Nationals? He's like, no, I think you'd be fine. If you got the Envy tour and the Effect tours, like, I don't think you'll get into any of those. And then you got the sensor. And he said, stay away from it. So I said, okay. Phase 2, I might look at another Phase 2. I've only drilled one of those in my life. So
yeah,
wouldn't mind to drill one of those. My daughter wants to come say hi, so she's going to come down here.
Angel found me a magenta hammer, which is a purple hammer that's just a different color. So that might be putting holes in it for Nationals. I don't really need to talk about my Nationals arsenal because I take way too many reactive balls every year just to throw urethane. So
you're lefty now.
It's going to be a purple or a black or a magenta, I'm sure. I'm sure I'll drill that one. I might take I drilled a Pink Widow. I might take that. I was
getting ready to ask you, when are you going to drill that?
What are you eating, you idiot?
Okay.
What are you eating? What are you doing?
We have a visitor here, so watch my computer there.
Mm.
Uh-oh, Jonathan Tiffany. As soon as you walk in. Hi, Ray. You see, look. He's giving you the
Man,
snap.
Alex Jimenez freaking lost it because she came down there and did that to me, and I turned around and I did the snap, and around the world, from the In Living Color.
Yes. Did you do that to Ray?
On whatever else. Yeah, because she came down and did the snap thing with attitude, and Alex was sitting right there, and I did the snap, and around the world. Alex doesn't really react to much stuff. He's like, I was not expecting that.
She's listening into my ears so she can hear you.
Mm-hmm.
You're like shoving that in my ear, so be careful. Did you say hi to Jonathan Tiffany?
Mm-hmm.
Slay hi.
Slay hi. Max
Costa. Hi Slay.
Hi Slay. That's Max.
Mm-hmm.
Oh hi.
I guess has she been on here since she's got the braces? I mean, she's had these for a while now.
Yeah,
You were on the last week or the week before.
Last week I was at your house.
Now that you've got all your teeth back.
Yeah, I know, right? You don't look like redneck Ray no more.
What?
Nothing. You can listen. Can you hear Luke when he talks when you're close to my ear? Can you hear him? What?
Okay, Storm.
Come say hi to Ray. Come here. Come here, Buck.
She said, "Okay, Storm."
Come here. Storm dog. Come here.
Can you hear him talking?
Yeah.
Say hi to Ray.
Uh-oh, who's that?
Hi, Storm.
Look at his ears go up.
What?
He's like,
Violent?
bruh,
What?
don't come at me like that.
Hi, Piggy. You the pig.
Uh-oh.
There's the pig. There's
Who's
the
that?
pig. You the pig. Do you want to go back outside? Okay. I'm going to go
He's
let him
letting
back
him out?
outside.
Okay, no problem.
There's
All
snow.
right, we're going to sit here for a minute. So, yeah, a couple of high rays. I don't need to drill anything else right now. I have too much other crap to figure out with my bowling. Yeah, I get that. I have a blank I have a Sunstorm and Wolverine DM blanks. The Sunstorm. Did you buy that and just sit on it for a reason, Jonathan Tiffany, or did you not just try to trade it or what? How many times I've got blanks in there and I've like, I'll just turn it around and use this for trade bait. I have a beautiful Storm dog. Yeah, he's cute.
Slay.
I have seen several Pure Envy and Ford Sub-Zeros. We talked about that one earlier. That Sub-Zero, by the way, is one of the best looking bowling balls on the market today.
Yeah. Angel threw it pretty well all day at the grand finale.
Looks good.
Saturday.
Yeah.
It looked really good. She was doing some things for a minute.
Doing some things.
Mm-hmm.
Doing some things.
I'm popping my jaw.
I see that.
Mm.
My wife won it. Sweet.
Cow lover.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Anyway, welcome back to the show for after letting the dogs out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm dealing with this one here that likes to make faces at the camera. She likes to look at herself on camera and make faces.
Uh-huh.
So you're silly. Say hello.
Yeah.
Tell everybody what you did last week. You bowled your new highest game ever.
Yeah, I slayed the day away.
She hasn't been bowling for a year. What was your highest game?
Oh, 144.
And then you followed that up with another
100.
and then no, you had 144 and like another 130 in the same set.
Oh, 130.
Yeah, 138. And then like 105. So her new highest series. Of course, it's got to be pre-bowling, but hey, when in Rome.
Bowling like Trevor at Nationals.
Bowling like Trevor. Yeah, you beat Trevor at Nationals. Your game one, by the way. Trevor only shot 130 his first game at Nationals last year.
Yeah.
So make sure you tell him all about that, okay? You tell him all about that. All right, let me get back.
Slay.
Love you. Say bye.
Bye, Slay.
Bye.
She's always into that slay thing. I don't understand what that all means, and
I don't know.
I just shut that all the way. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Sorry for the interruption.
No.
There it is. 144, 136, 109 from the wife.
Yeah.
389 for her highest set. And she gets so frustrated. I tell you what, this child of mine, you think the kid's been bowling 15 years. Kid fries harder than I do. All right. I don't fry very often. And when I do, they're usually pretty good. The kid, you think, like I said, you think she'd been bowling 15 years. She gets so mad.
Yeah.
So mad if she's not doing anything. And then turns around, she shoots like 100. I think she's probably averaging now right around 100. It's not terrible. So She's getting there. She throws it pretty good.
Yeah,
though.
yeah.
You've seen her throw it. I mean, for not bowling for a year and never having any really practice. So
hopefully,
she's high maintenance.
Don't tell her, but the kids were talking. They were looking for houses here while they were here a couple weeks ago. So maybe Riley and Ray could bowl on the same youth league team here in a year or two if they actually get out here.
Go ahead, because she bowls with Alexis on, but they for the last since summer and this year they've been missing one person, so they need one more. So it's
get Riley out here.
You see if I can get a score update. All right, I do have a score update. You want me to run through the top 10 real quick? All right, real quick while we're waiting, or really kind of just BSing here for this time. First place currently after 8 games of the Missouri Classic, P. Weber Missouri Classic, I apologize, at plus 355, EJ Tackett. At plus 355, we have a tie, Bailey Maverick. Third place, Ryan Barnes, plus 302, or 302. Fourth place, BJ Moore, who throws it so good, by the way. So good. Like, too good. Plus 280. Kyle Troop still hanging there at 5th at plus 249. Alec Keplinger, plus 235. 7th place, Kevin McCune, plus 233. Tim Foy Jr., another solid week, plus 232. Chris Prather, plus 230. Rounding out your top 10 at plus 229, Sean Maldonado, and a note to mention, Zach Wilkins in 11th at plus 223. So,
see if you can find Andy Klein and Casey.
I got you.
See how they're doing. Because Casey, I was watching earlier today. He shot 220 something the game I was watching.
Andy Klein currently after 8 games minus 63 at 71st place, and Casey Murphy actually right there with him, sitting in 73rd at minus 87 currently after 8 games. So I'll tell you what. I would love to see Keplinger get in. Obviously, I want Wilkins to get in. Obviously, got to make the top 24. Zach's in really good shape. He's got to stay away from the bad games, and I think he'll be fine. Keplinger is a kid that throws it so damn good.
He's a good kid, too. I mean, he came up through the Wichita State thing, and Wichita State people always carry themselves the same way. You can pick them out of a crowd, but he's cool. And a lot of the Wichita State kids, Spencer's awesome, TJ Rock's awesome, Ryan Barnes. I haven't really met him in person. He's pretty quiet. He kind of keeps to himself and doesn't really, get around. But,
they've had some new blood go in there though. Once Gordon retired,
Keplinger's cool. Brandon Bonner is cool.
I've never really talked to Brandon Bonner.
There's a kid, Josh Hammonds from Topeka, that's on Team USA.
Team USA
going there, and he's the coolest kid you'll ever meet. So
he's really sweet kid, man. Like super nice. He's very good. He does not miss very often, but he's one of those two. You watch him bowl two-handed, and he has that. He's got a different two-handed style because as he gets to the release point at the bottom of the swing, he's very upright. Very upright, too. So he's almost got a one-handed release.
Yeah. He's got a very old-school game, but it's two-handed.
I found out recently that my mom hates the Barnes. You know what's funny about that? I've said this on this show before, but growing up as a kid, my childhood idol was Chris Barnes. And, what's funny is as long as I was a bowler as a kid and loved him, it took me a long time to realize that he actually was from Topeka.
Yeah.
I didn't actually realize that he was only an hour 15 minutes away from me. But Chris Barnes, I absolutely love that guy. I still will always be a fan of him to this day. But
our daughter was pretty good friends with his niece, Carly Sullivan. They were pretty well. I think they were in the same grade. They just went to different schools, but they bowled youth leagues together. And Chris's sister unfortunately died a few years ago. And
which is crazy. It's so sad.
Yeah, she was great. And Ray, husband's great, and got a couple kids. And
Ray just stopped bowling our league on Tuesday nights because when you were bowling it, Ray was bowling in the league. He just stopped bowling it this year. I don't know if his team decided to stop. I think his whole team backed out because he was bowling with like, oh gosh, it was Ray, and then God, I can't think of his name now. Kristinat.
Yeah,
Bob
Yep.
Kristinat.
Remember Bob?
The biggest spinner on the
Yeah.
face of the planet. That guy literally
Yeah.
helicopters the ball. God, I'm trying to remember who else was on the team. It doesn't matter. Anyways, but yeah, Ray actually showed up last Tuesday night, and I got to see him, and it's always good to see Ray. He's such a good guy. He's a good guy. He really is. I feel so bad for him every time I see him, though, because I know Laura's death was pretty. I mean, they knew it was coming, but at the same time, it's still a shock. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So,
she was great too. She was always really chill, even keel. You know.
Yeah. I see Barnes' mom drive around town all the time. PBA mom with 100 plates. That's exactly what it says.
Man, I've been sipping really slow on this stuff too. Doc went.
No explanation as to why. No, she was sick.
I don't know if it was cancer or what it was, but yeah, she was sick.
I think it was cancer. I think she had cancer. So, like I said, I shouldn't say it was unexpected. It was just one of those that when we found out it actually happened, we were like, "Oh crap! This is." And Laura, I think her name was Laura, right? Yeah, Laura. She was a sweetheart. She used to bowl the Ray and her used to bowl the Friday Night League too. And back a little before I first moved out here, Ray Sullivan actually used to coach Amanda, so he used to do a lot of coaching with her. And he's a good guy, man. I really do enjoy him. I miss seeing him on Tuesday nights.
Yep, I used to drill stuff for him occasionally. Yeah.
Oh yeah, sweet. Yeah, he drives around. You see him around town. It's hard to miss it. He's got like his yellow Jeep with it's got the rack lights up top, like the LED lights. So if you see that Jeep, you know it's him. So, all right. Anyway, what do we got here? We got 7:36 currently. Got a little bit of time left. We're getting on the road at 8 a.m. tomorrow.
Illinois Classic, because we covered the U.S. Open thing. We're kind of tracking this, and then another. I need to find out who made the show. They've already filmed the double show. I need to find out who made that. But the single show was Matt Ogle, Sean Rash, Tim Foy, Chris Vi, and Santu.
In no order. I know I'll spit them out as I know them. It was Ogle and Sean Rash, Tim Foy and Kevin McCune, Jason Belmonte and Bill O'Neill. And no, I promise I'm not pulling this out of my ass. I'm looking it up. I just know that these guys made it. I'm going to search it on Facebook real quick, but for sure those names did make it. 2 seconds. I'm almost there. PBA just posts like nonsense randomly stuff, like highlights and stuff every day. Here you go. All right. So I'll go back through the order. Ogle and Rash, McCune Foy, Dombrowski, Bailey Maverick, Sean Maldonado, DJ Archer, and Jason Belmonte and Bill O'Neill.
That's some interesting. Yeah, Dombrowski and Bailey Maverick seems like an odd pairing because Dombrowski is quite a bit. I mean, he's probably 30 years older than Bailey is. But, Billy O and Belmo, of course, and I love Sean Rash and Matt Ogle.
I'm kind of wondering if Belmo won because they recorded that show on Sunday since he decided to leave and go home to Australia. I'm wondering if they won. It's like, oh yeah, there's 40 grand. I'll take a week off.
I know it's already out there, but I have not seen who won, and they don't have it on. They don't have it updated on PBA, on the PBA yet.
No, they won't.
I
mean, I could probably find out from Jack if I really wanted to.
They taped it, but I don't know. It doesn't have on here when it's actually going to air.
March.
Okay, so Sunday, March 2nd. Okay.
It's coming up.
So,
I mean, I could find out, but I would not spoil it on here because if they tell you that stuff, they can get big trouble. So. But no, that's good. It's going to be a good show. I'm looking forward to that. I think obviously Bill O'Neill and Belmonte are going to be the favorites. The Bailey Maverick Dombrowski team is definitely an interesting one. Dombrowski's a really good guy. I don't know if a lot of guys have talked to him much, but in all the interactions I've had with him, he's a lot of fun to talk to because we were on motive staff together at one point in time and just kind of chatting interaction with the staff group. Foy and Kevin McCune is a good team. I mean, I love watching Kevin McCune throw it, man. Like, just so much raw power. So much raw power. He's so much like his dad, but he has more tricks. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I did not get to watch the Owens Illinois Classic, which was last weekend.
Oh, I did. I watched it all. Yeah.
Tim Foy beat Matt Ogle 217 to 168 in the first match, so it doesn't sound like that was very close. Then Tim Foy shot 240 at Sean Rash, who shot 190.
And speaking of that, before you go there, so watching that match, Sean Rash, he always is like super uptight on TV, where he's always got to control the breathing. But he just looked super tight. Like, first time he'd been on TV tight.
And you have to wonder with guys like that getting older and I don't know what Sean has outside of bowling, but there's a lot of, you have to have something, unless you're Belmo or EJ Tackett or Kyle Troop, there's a very, like the top 10, you've got to have something outside of bowling, or you've got to be like a Zach Wilkins that bowls everything that he can get his hands on outside of it. Everything. You either got to bowl for a living, or you've got to have some kind of pro shop, bowling alley, whatever else, regular job outside of it to supplement it, take care of it. I don't know what Sean has going on, but he's getting close to being eligible for the PBA 50. Let me put it that way. And I think it's one of those things where you're kind of in the, I'm not going to make a whole lot of regular PBA shows anymore territory. If you do, it's going to be kind of few and far between type of deal.
Shit, he made back-to-back this week.
Yeah.
Take it and run with it. I think it was a little bit of a roller coaster ride, though, with him. I know you're going to keep going, but there's a good point to interrupt there, is because we didn't mention that he did get elected to the PBA Hall of Fame this week with his family in attendance, with his kids, his wife, his mom and dad. So the fact that he came into Chicago, which is also his home territory,
that's the other thing too. Is I think he was kind of nervous about that, or that he was thinking about that too.
Oh yeah. I mean, why not? Wouldn't you?
Yeah, if I'm at a show in Topeka or Kansas, even Kansas City, Lawrence, whatever else, anywhere close is kind of like home territory. Yeah. So,
and the fact that he was able to make two shows that week, I mean, that's amazing. All right, here you go. We got James is in here with his $5 chat here. No good jokes this time. Not even going to try to make a Star Wars joke happen. Just don't want to force it in there.
Yeah.
Okay.
I get it.
That's not bad.
Force it in there.
I get it too. Not bad.
Yeah.
Not bad.
So
thanks for the $5.
Match 3. Chris Vi won 212 to 202. You said that Tim missed a spare.
Missed a late spare, yes. And Tim Foy should have won that match 100%.
Just to have in the title match, Santu won 186 to 155. So
I'm telling you right now, if Tim Foy makes that championship match, he's winning that tournament. Yes. I think he should have got out of urethane though and into reactive, because the couple times that he threw reactive, it looked really good, but he just kept staying in urethane. And I truthfully think he was staying in the urethane though, just because he could control the pocket better. You know, I think he had the tug room with it. To the right, he had plenty of bounce. He was good to the right? So, not to mean to say right, but yeah. To the right, he had plenty of bounce. But I think he was worried about tugging it, getting a little quick, because he was worried about his tempo. He kept saying, I think I'm fast. Am I getting fast? Talking to the ball reps. So, obviously, if you're going to get fast, what are you going to do a big chunk of the time? You're going to tug the shit out of it, right? So, they probably looked at him like, okay, if you're worried about your timing, let's just keep you in your thing where you've looked good this week. So, I think that's a big reason why. Yeah, he makes that spare. He moves on. I think he's your Owens Illinois Classic winner.
Yeah, we've seen that happen before, like Zach Wilkins last year. Yeah. If he didn't have Kyle Troop shoot 270 at him that game that he shot 250 something. If he gets past Kyle, I think he wins that tournament. And that
actually he said that on our show.
Yeah, if he gets past Kyle, he
said
wins
that on our
show. And I believe hands down. That's the same thing that I thought or pointed out too, is that if he gets past Kyle, that's his tournament.
Yeah, he's been saying that. So, or he has been saying that. He said that on our show, and when he said that, I was kind of like, oh, all right, shots fired, right?
No, yeah,
I love it. You ever want to come on here and drop some truth bombs? I'm for it. All right, sorry. It's the Owens. Honestly, I thought that was a pretty good show. It was a really good show. I really did enjoy it. The wife was in Omaha, so.
Now that so I was just thinking about the next show. If we're bowling the 26th and 27th, then we would not have a show in 2 weeks. We would be bowling the Lawrence City.
I mean, we could do something crazy and stream it and just make it a show that week.
Yep, I got the microphone. Yeah, I got the microphone, so we could just stream it and make it really interesting.
Does anybody want to do a breakdown pair episode number 103 with us bowling live? We could do that too.
Trevor and Johnny and because that'd be teams, so we'd have everybody on there. So the 26th and 27th. That's Wednesday, Thursday. So
if anybody's watching this, apparently I'm out of sync again, and it's been happening to me. I really have no idea why. I'm not using my transmitters. I'm plugged into my microphone. Nothing's changed with my Wi-Fi. Never used to do
I don't know. So. Everything seems just fine to me, but
I don't know. I went back and watched it's bad. So make it a podcast. You can go back and listen to it. You don't have to look at my mouth not being in sync. It's like a Chinese movie. Japanese, Chinese, those old kung fu fighting movies. Yeah, so I apologize about that. So not really sure what to do to fix that. All I've done is change a microphone. So, yeah. Because I'm sure I sound better since I got this new mic. Guess I may have to go back to my old one. But yeah, no, we've Kelly, Luke, and I have actually streamed our bowling several times. But yeah, I guess we could always do that.
We haven't done it in a while though.
No, we haven't. We could do that. We could stream our live city. You have to watch out for language, but yeah, I'm out of sync. I don't know why. I really don't, because like I said, I've changed nothing. So all I did, I've got new headphones and I've changed the microphone. That's all.
It looks fine to me on Restream, but I don't. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, just don't watch it live. Just listen to it and minimize it. You'll be fine. You don't need to look at us anyways.
Cool. Let dogs in.
Yep. No problem. All right, let's see what we got going on here. Yeah, so that's weird. I mean, maybe you tech gurus out here can tell me, would a microphone change really make me go out of sync? Because that's pretty crazy to me. Because a microphone before this, I was never having this issue, but no big deal. But yeah, if you guys would like to see us do that for city tournament, we're going to be bowling we talked about it at the top of the show. No, I'm out of sync, so don't mind me. 26th and 27th, we could do our 26th show, which is our team. I believe that's our team event. So we could probably do that. Luke and I wear microphones and talk to the guys around us. Something different, I guess, changes it up. We can make that episode 103. Yeah. So if Luke's down with it, I'm down with it. Why not? Something fun. And week off from the Scratch League, heck yeah. Yeah, I know, right? Wish I had a week off, but we're bowling, I guess. How close is that? Because February, I feel like it's flying by. Like, I feel like we just started the year, and we're already March almost. That's 2 weeks, so we get 2 weeks. All right. Good deal, yeah. I'm good with that. If not, we wouldn't be able to do it again until... I mean, we could do the 5th of March, but that's putting me awful close to nationals. Yeah, we'll figure it out. We'll make a post about it. So Yeah, if we could do something like that, make that maybe like a surprise or like a fun episode number 103, that'd be great. Because the next one we would do would be the 5th. No, actually, no, I'd be gone. I'd be bowling that day in Nationals.
Yeah, because that'd be so you'll be at Nationals.
Well, I'll be bowling
next time.
Morning, yes.
So
yeah, we could do that if you really wanted to do that. We can make that. I mean, I don't. If that's up to you, if you want to make it episode number 103 or not, but yeah, we can make that.
Yeah, that's fine.
Make that happen.
It might not be the greatest quality coming from the Wi-Fi at Royal Crest. It depends on what pair we're on, but we can give it a shot anyway. I'm okay doing
I'm
that.
good with it. We're teammates. Wear some microphones and chit chat. Just like I said, I do apologize if any language comes out. We'll be with a bunch of people that don't know what's going on. So
no, that should be pretty good though. If we're bowling teams, so it's you, me, Johnny, Yuri, and Trevor. Did you get Trevor? You said.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So
I got Trevor. Yeah.
That'll be
and then and I'm sure Trevor, excuse me. I'm sure Jesse will put us with a decent group, so it should be fun to watch.
We should have a good cross. So
a good old Lawrence, Kansas. Here we go, McKenna. Hey, Hawes, the 279 with the Hammer Effect Tour last night was high and light, first ball in the 10th frame. Let the 7 pin, got spare and finished with strike. Hey, great job. Great game. Great game, man. I'd like to throw mine. I just need to get some chalk off of it and got to find time to actually go to practice and actually do that. So I don't really know what the ball's going to do once it lane shines a little bit. I'm really excited to throw it, though. I like it. I like the little bit of shape that I threw it, though, Luke, on Saturday. No, Sunday. Sunday when we did the little mock practice session. I like the look with it. To me, shape-wise, I do see even on fresh. Granted, we were on the Nationals pattern, so it's not going to give me the full effect, but I can definitely see shape difference between it. So that's why the big question was: do I bring that ball to Nationals and overlap the MV Tour, or what do we do?
Yeah.
So, you guys bowling team event for Lawrence, the tourney on the 27th? No, we're going to bowl team on the 26th.
27th. Or 26th for team and then 27th for double and singles.
I think. I'll double check that. It's either one of the two. No, we have to bowl the 26th for team or else Johnny can't bowl. Yes.
I pickles.
Sorry, apologize.
Yes, pig. Come on, piggy.
I'm terrible. Don't fire me.
Oh, yes, pig. You're wet.
That really makes me mad. I'm out of sync again.
You're a wet pig. Why are you a wet pig? You're a wet pig.
Got to figure out what's going on with that. So I really thought it was my transmitters. So when I was wearing my transmitters, because it was the way it was going through and producing things, I thought, well, maybe that's just causing the lag. Like I said, nothing has changed in my Wi-Fi. Only thing I've done different is I got new headphones, but that's not going to do anything. And I got a new microphone. So I wonder if I changed something here. Give me a second. Go to audio. I know we're almost done, but let me try something here. Let's just do
shout out my Doc Swenson's Reefer Madness. It is a single barrel selected by Vern's. It's only available at Vern's. Straight rye whiskey finished in rum and peated Scotch casks. So it's a rye whiskey that they finished in a rum cask and then a Scotch cask. So it's a little sweet and a little smoky and man.
All right, I just changed something up. I don't know how close. I don't know. Like, I know we're almost done, but I don't know if it takes time to sync up. Can anybody tell me if this is getting better or not?
Oh, yes. Yes, buddy.
Gotcha. I might see if I can put something together for that. Kind of forgot that was coming up. I did too, honestly, James. It was one of those things where Yuri said something to me, and I had no idea. So I was like, sure, why not?
You got problems, Buck.
So yes, please, somebody tell me that's watching if after I just changed the setting, maybe that's better.
You pickles.
I don't know.
You the baby pig.
No other reason why that would be doing that. That kind of makes me mad.
You the baby pig. You the baby
Somebody's
pig.
at my door.
You the baby pig.
Oh, pig.
Aspen Pig.
Let's see here real quick.
Mud all over.
We're still game 4 of 6. Let's see if we get any updates here.
Yeah,
Sorry,
I looked at it. I had, let me see, Bowl TV. I had it up and it said that the stream was offline.
It is better now. Okay, so it's a setting that I had it on. That's my fault. So fixed it now. We be good. Thanks, James.
Williams, Sean Lavery Spar.
It's still 8 games. 100% better. No lag. Sweet. Okay. I know what it is. It's something that was with my
Richard Teese.
It was with my audio input. And once I changed my audio input, we in business. So thank you guys. Means I can go back to using my transmitters. Those transmitters are so nice though. So when I got these new ear monitors, I can put one in my pocket and it kind of connects and they're wireless. So if I need to go to the bathroom or something, I can still hear Luke when I go upstairs or wherever I go. So it's really nice.
Aspen, come here, pigs. Hi, baby pigs.
Sweet. Okay, that's good to know. Now I fixed it.
Pigs,
Now
baby
I don't feel like an
pigs.
idiot. Pig. What is anybody got any big tournaments or any tournaments coming up this weekend? Because got 5 minutes. We can talk a little bit about that. Any new bowling balls? Anybody wants to drill? Anything? I know it's just kind of filler time. Nobody wants to talk right now. Everybody's watching PBA and everybody's like Luke and John.
Yeah, we're going to be at Southwest the weekend after you guys get back from Nationals, and Tobias is bowling with us. So it's the normal Steve and Linda group, pretty much.
I know. I'm gonna miss that group.
So
I'm sorry. Don't hate me.
Yeah, so we'll see how that goes. I know they were having a little bit of trouble finishing the women's teams out, but I think we're good on the men's side. But Aaron McCarthy may be there. I know Shannon Salins is going to make it. There was somebody else that was
Never heard of her.
There was somebody else that was on there too that was of note. But
I thought I saw Aaron McCarthy and them were out, right? Yeah, is what you said. They're out. I thought they were out, and then she was out, and then I thought I saw the list that. Oh gosh, can't think of her name.
Yeah.
Oh, Tanya Rumpenauer.
Yeah,
Rumpenauer. However you say her name.
Rumpenauer.
Rumpenauer.
Tournament 2025.
Got a 3D assault at Blackwood Mania that I'm hoping to drill soon. Considering I'm half retired from bowling, that's probably the extent of my drilling for the rest of the season. That is false, James. It's February. You will drill probably at least 7 more.
So yeah, we have Spencer Robarge is bowling with us. Jason Elliott, Bryce Thurman, not Bruce Thoman.
You know how long it took me to look at that and go, is that Bruce with a typo?
Yeah, there's a few people I haven't heard of before. Pat Orozco, Mike Wedemere, Seth Harris, Grant Smith. But then I know, Shannon Sellens, Caitlin's bowling, which is weird that Caitlin's Rob is bowling.
Rob's bowling.
Tiffany Morris, Jen Frank, Katie Gonzalez, and Kiara Gonzalez. I'd probably recognize him if I saw him. Brooklyn Peck, the name sounds familiar, but
I recognize
Amber Dumler, do not recognize. Sydney Maxwell is on there too, but I don't know.
And no, James, that's 7 more balls to the end of 2025.
But a lot of the regulars, Keeler, Andy Klein, Fahaj, Tyler Newman, Joe Bush is bowling with us, Spencer and Blake, Phil Cosper, Jason Elliott, Dakota Phelps. So a lot of the regulars, a lot of the ones from last year, but that's coming up in about a month. So yeah,
you guys actually are going pretty early. That's our normal time. We always go mid-March. There's just no way that I could swing it. We wouldn't get back to Thursday or Friday, and being in a hotel, having nationals, and then turn around and have to go to Springfield the week after. There's just no way. I'm not doing it. I love them, all you guys, but I got to sit
Yeah.
this one out. I'm going to be ready to get home and not move, especially since we're driving. No, yeah. James says, is that before the end of Medland or not? And I said, no. 7 bowling balls between now, the end of the season. Like, not the season. I shouldn't say season. The end of the year, 2025. You will drill more than 7 bowling balls. Luke, tell me I'm wrong.
Tell me I'm
wrong.
the end of Medland. I mean, that's another 3 months, maybe.
He'll have 3 more balls drilled by then. Yeah.
I mean, 7 balls between now and the end of Medland?
No. Between the end of 2025.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah.
He said he's semi-retired. Yeah,
7 more balls between now and the end of the calendar year, absolutely. But
yeah, I will drill maybe 2 more balls between now and the end of the calendar year. Maybe. I say that, and I'm full of shit. But hey, when in Rome.
no. Yeah, thanks for,
ladies and gentlemen. It is.
Yeah, thanks, James, for putting that in the chat. Yeah, I had a nice chat with Mr. TJ Devon the other night. It was last Wednesday, actually. Talked for a while about some stuff. So if anybody wants, sometimes sending an email isn't quite enough, or going back and forth in text is kind of whatever. So if you actually want to talk to really either of us and in person, we just got on a Facebook Messenger chat and talk for a little bit on that. So if anybody wants to actually have a conversation, that can absolutely be arranged.
Oh, you're talking about either of us?
Yeah, we can.
Yeah, I'll talk to anybody whenever they want, even if you just want to
happen.
say hi. Yeah, why not? I'll make a beverage bet on under 2.5 balls drilled by the county on me. No, because what do we have here? 3 months?
Yeah.
3 months? Why do we have to do 2.5? Why can't it just be 2? Either it's 2 or we push.
Yeah.
If you drill 3, you lose.
Freaking commercial.
Come on now. This isn't
What
Vegas.
commercials?
This isn't Vegas, all right? Don't give me that half number. Either drill 3, I win.
2's a push.
2 is a push.
That's the thing.
Yeah,
I pick it.
Yeah, 2's a push, 3 I win. What do you say? Beverage bet? I'm in on that. It's 8:02, ladies and gentlemen.
YouTube money.
Let me see if I can get some quick.
We gotta.
Let me see if I can get a really quick update on after game 9. And I do not. They're being really slow today. Yeah, getting that YouTube money.
Yeah. What are you talking about, bud?
I'm lagging again. Yeah, I have no idea why. I really don't. So pushes are for cowards. Yeah, they are for cowards.
What?
It's for a beverage. I don't care. We get heck with it. 2.5's fine. Let's do it. Let's play. Shake over there.
Okay,
Handshake.
Chapman right down the middle. Trip it.
I'm actually going to go upstairs and turn this on because since we have a whole nother 2 games
we got some
left.
things to watch, so I'm gonna go grab some chow and let the buck sauce out again. Do you want to go back outside? Is that what you're? Yeah, I know it's snowy out there, and you're getting mud all over my shit.
I bet he smells real good too.
Yep.
Bet good. Yeah, 2.5. We're good with that.
Nice pig.
Anytime you have buy and bowling ball, though, you have to show me proof. Like I've got to find proof.
All right, so yeah.
We'll talk about
Thanks
this
everybody
offline.
for hanging
Talk
out
about this
again. We will be back with you. Yeah, if we can swing it and or remember it in a couple weeks, Bowling City, which should be a good time. If it actually all works out, it should be something good to watch. So we'll try to see if we can.
we can come up with Luke and I can talk about the logistics, and I can get ahead of it, and we can post something on.
I'm coming.
Yeah.
Buck.
No, you're just breathing heavy.
Buck tard, buck sauce. Shut the buck up.
Nobody caught that. We're good.
Buck.
We're good. We'll move on.
Yeah.
That's so great. All right, guys.
Yep. We will
Appreciate you guys. Yeah.
see y'all later.
Go ahead.